So my first question to you is, I know that your stores are using GOTS special barcodes so that the store is price verified as it's being ordered. Can you talk a little bit about how the tool has increased the accuracy of your shelf tags?
Yeah, that's a program he's had for some time. And the nice part about it is that we have a verification schedule that we do on our own. But it every time that we order something, it now gets verified. And we order thousands of pieces every night. So before maybe we got across the entire store, our goal was to get the entire store done in a year. And with that, we're probably, every 3 months getting across the entire store. And the nice part is it's a task that we're doing already. When we verify the store, we actually spend extra labor dollars to go out for just that sole purpose. So to do something that we're doing already and have that enhancement was a big win for all of us.
That's amazing. So not only is there kind of a cost of labor improvement, I take it, but also just in terms of time efficiency, have there been any other ways that you've quantified the improvement?
We do audits on ourselves in the store, and we certainly saw some improvement in those numbers. We're pretty good. We take our price credibility very seriously, not just because of the regulations, but for our customers. We feel it's very important if we have a price out there, it's right. So we work hard at it. But there was a small uptick in pretty good numbers originally. We don't allow any more than 3 wrong prices in the entire store during our audit before.
Wow.
And we were meeting that standard prior to it. But what it did do is that we're catching things faster than we would have.
That's great. And then, well, since you started using the 2D barcodes, have you been audited by Weights and Measures more formally?
Yes.
And how have those audits gone?
We've passed all of them with flying colors.
That's terrific. That's terrific. I'm going to switch gears on you a little bit and ask you this. I know that your stores were among the first to participate in God's special out of stock program that was redesigned to deal with what was brought on during the pandemic and all of the outs that you had during the pandemic. And I know that your stores have done a tremendous job with the tool. What kind of results have you seen, especially during the pandemic?
What I'd say, first of all, in general, having a partner like GOT through this, they're much more than just an ordering tool to get groceries on the shelf. And through what was an extremely difficult time for us and the entire country, but our responsibility of trying to keep groceries on the shelves for the consumers through this, they were right there with us. We were working around the clock, and to have a partner like GOT that was working around the clock with us means more than actually the results at the end of the day. Many late night phone calls with even Sam, the president, owner of the company. So we appreciated that tremendously. What GOT did for us during that, I think allowed us to get immensely more groceries than we would have. Prior to GOT's involvement, I was having entire grocery orders that did not ship because WG just couldn't, our wholesaler couldn't keep up. And Sam stepped in and created a more systematic way of WG being able to process those orders. So we sent less cases to AWG, but we were able to get the cases that we sent. We overwhelmed the system in the beginning, and we were sending so much to AWG that they just had to say, we can't send anything. And so that piece for us was critical. We went from not getting entire grocery orders to at least getting some. And then the enhancements that he made through the process daily allowed us to get 10-15% more items on the shelf for our consumers than without his help, for sure.
That's remarkable. Well, and it makes me, in talking to Jan, I know that during the pandemic, at least in the early days, and we are still part of it, but I know that products were being discontinued at a very high rate as a result of some of the production issues. And thinking about that, I know that GOT increased bad tag warnings, both ordering and out of stock in those programs. How has God historically helped your stores to keep on top of cleaning up bad tags?
Historically and pre-COVID, you know, again, it's a process that as we order items, which is a normal labor task that we do every day. So it's something that we're already doing, and then we have the extra benefit of the software that he has running in the back that verifies if there's issues. Is helps our business overall tremendously. A bad tag costs us money. It costs us money, and either I get an item that I didn't intend to order, or I'm not getting an item that I want to order, or I'm wasting real estate on the shelf. So catching those items, issues when you order something and you don't get it because the data isn't correct, and you find that out through your normal process of something you do anyway, ordering is a big deal. And it just helps us stay on top of, there's always issues. We deal with, I have over 100,000 items in our file. I have over 30,000 active items that I order in just grocery, dairy, frozen from AWG. So there's always going to be issues in the data, and everyone we find helps us meet our consumer needs just that much faster.
Yeah, so I'm sure it improves, your effectiveness, your efficiency, and certainly customer satisfaction with that. Is there a difference in sort of the post-COVID world versus the pre-COVID world in terms of the cost of bad tags?
Yes, I would say, our overall in-stock conditions are at about 50%. So if I order 1,000 pieces, I'm getting 500. So when you're having that much difficulty getting product, every item that you can get that's available and you're just not getting because the data is incorrect, and then you fix that issue, is a big deal. We are fighting daily just to meet our consumer needs and satisfy what they're looking for. And so every item that we can get on the shelf is a big deal. It was a big deal pre-COVID. It's a huge deal right now. We want our customers to be able to come in and get what they need every day. Post-COVID, pre-COVID, that's just our business model. And so yeah, every case we can find helps.
That's terrific. Let me ask you about a different topic. I know that your stores all use God's markdown printers. Can you tell me a little bit about how that's helped Cosentino's?
Yes, that is a significantly important program to us, both from customer satisfaction and financial. So in our world, we have a shelf life on our products for I'll use steaks for example. So we will sell steaks for 3 days, and then on the third day, I'm still selling those steaks to our consumer, and they're perfectly fine and fresh. We would never use the markdown program to sell distressed product or quality. If it's not good enough to sell to a consumer at any price, it's not good to sell to a consumer. But on that third day, what we put into place is that if I know the next day I'm not going to sell it to the consumer, we mark it down and give them a discount. So you can look at steaks in the case, and one is has been in the counter or had a 2-day shelf life, and a package right next to it that is on the third day, both high quality, but we want to sell that one that day, so we will discount it. And if you looked at the packages, the quality is the same on both of them. So it's a win for us, because instead of just losing the entire package of steaks the following day because our quality standards are so high, we can sell it and the consumer gets a discount on what is a top quality item every day.
That's fabulous. That's good. It's good information for me too. I appreciate that. Let me ask you, I understand from God that together you're working on a special program to help supply Harvesters, the local food pantry to help those in need here in the Kansas City area. Can you talk a little bit about the programs? I understand maybe that there are a couple of programs to raise that product, and how's that working for you?
Yeah, we're in the early stages of it, but it kind of ties back to the previous conversation. So on that last day that because our quality standards are so high, we don't sell to our consumers, but there's nothing wrong with that product. And so we're trying to find a way that we can donate those to the food banks, because currently what we do is it just goes into the trash. So it breaks my heart, and I know it does Sam as well, that we have perfectly good product that we are throwing in the trash when there's so many people in need. But we've never figured out a systematic way to be able to get it to that food bank in a safe way. And so with Sam's help, we've identified a way to be able to identify how much of that we have, notify the food banks quickly. We're able to pull that product and freeze it because now we know that someone is coming. And again, at 8 p.m., it's perfectly great product to sell to our customers, but because of our standard, we're going to pull that out of the counter because we're not going to sell it the next day. So just like if you took it home and froze it, perfectly great product. But how we coordinate all of that has been difficult. And with Sam's help, and his ordering machine that we use with the markdown labels, we now have tracking so that we can see that and we can know that this store has X amount of product and someone can come and pick it up. So we're really excited about it. We'd love to see that product if we can help the community with it.
Yeah, I love that you're automating not only the product itself, but then notifying the food banks, and that it's kind of a process that's working for all three parties and really to help the broader community. So congratulations on that. That's really phenomenal.
Yeah, that's been the hurdle because, the ability to have the product and freeze it, when we've tried to do this in the past, because if we can help, we want to, but manually calling the food bank on Tuesday and saying, okay, I have some today, but then on Thursday I don't. So Sam's ability to automate for this and automatically notifying, hey, there's nothing there on Tuesday, you don't need to go, but on Friday they'll know that, okay, we have a lot of product for them. So that's been the key to make this whole thing work.
Fabulous. I love that. Let me ask you a different question. Which GOT products actually bring the most value to Cosentino's?
There's several. Our ability to process and track credits is a big one. If we don't, prior to it, we were kind of doing it manually, and so if someone gets short a case from AWG, the ability to see that we actually turned that credit in, and not only that we turned it in, but then we did receive credit. Or if we get an extra case from AG that we didn't pay for, the ability to make sure that we turn that in and they get their money back. So that's a big one. The ability to track and see our costs are up and down. So to see that if I buy it today for $20, because if I buy it tomorrow, it's going to be $25. That's a big piece for us. Sam has a program that helps you identify out of date items potentially on the shelf. That's a substantial piece for us. We can literally walk to the shelf and it's an indicator that it's been there for a while and potentially it's out of date. So to be able to go and walk straight to that and find out, in addition to our routine date checks that we do, is a big deal. Because again, that's important to our consumers to make sure we're selling fresh product to them. I could go on and on. The thing about Sam, he has a milk ordering program where it literally is pulling your data by store to produce a order on milk. Is extremely helpful. The number one issue that you have when you over order and have to throw things away, like I said, is poor ordering on the front side. So any ordering assistance that we can get through data is a big deal. And overall with GOT, they never stop. He is not just a company that allows you to pull the trigger and get a case on the shelf. There's always enhancement that he builds into the system. He's always looking for new ways to help the retailer to improve the retailer's efficiencies, bottom lines, ease of process. So every day there's I know he's thinking about new ways to do things, and then he's rolled out a tremendous amount of additional offerings from when we started back with him, which is basically here's a gun and order. So that's what I appreciate about God's. It's the forward thinking innovation that continues to come over the years.
That's fabulous. I really appreciate, you've been incredibly generous with your time, and I appreciate your comments. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you want to share about your experiences with God? I love what you said already. If there's anything else, I want to make sure I don't miss it.
Nope, I think I've covered it all.
Okay, John, I really appreciate your time. You have a great Saturday. Hopefully the rain clears up here in a little while, and hope to see you again soon.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.